Welcome back, guys. How's it going? So on today's episode we're going to get a little bit into what the projects are here on site and what I'm doing here at the shed. Also going to get you up to scratch on the Civic because there's an awful amount to tell you about this. It is so close to painting and I am not releasing the videos for God knows what reason. I don't know. I'm so far behind on all of my stuff. I have to really catch up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on the Civic a little bit more, and I'm also going to show you what the car is like right now actually, and the future project plans for it and stuff like so. It was going to have a full interior in it, but now it's not because we got a new 6-point roll cage with door bars and kind of takes up the back seat, so we can't really actually go for back seats in it now, unfortunately. But I'm still going to go for a full interior, and as you can see I have a bit of the inside painted on it. So this episode, lads, is all about the projects that we have got going on. A little bit about myself because I think it's long overdue, to be very fair, because I talk an awful lot about my heart health and having blood cancer and stuff, so I think it's about time I actually let you know what the crack is about that. So let's go outside, have a little look at some of the projects, and when we get back in here we'll get back into a few things. See you out there, lads. Reveal.
Just go again.
So lads, there's this here then as well. We've got a 1947 Morris commercial flatbed truck. This was donated to me by my father. I was after this car this last 15 years or so, and he have a car, it's a truck. He eventually...
Vehicle.
Yeah, that's true, yes. He eventually gave it to me because, as you know now, I've unfortunately been dealt an unfortunate blow with my health. But he gave it to me because I've always wanted it. I'm going to restore it up. We've got every single piece for it apart from the water pump, and what else is missing on it? There's nothing else really missing on it. It's more so the glass is broken on this driver, on the passenger side. It's just little bits and pieces, lads. So I'm going to take the body off and take the engine out of it again, and we're going to re-blast the chassis, repaint it. We're going to do all them kind of bits and pieces in the next little while. I hope to have this in the road within the next 2 years. It does run, it just needs the water pump as all, so maybe I'll be able to just geriatric something together. I don't know what I'll do with it. I'll do something to make it work. If I can get nothing to fit, we'll make a plate and we'll make something fit. So anyway, lads, let's move on to the next show. The Jesus, lads, you might have seen the Blue Board episodes, and they're still going up as we're speaking. This is up on a Friday, and I'm planning on getting the videos for the Blue Board up. Videos on a Monday, and we're doing the new reveal on a Friday, which I'd say has already been revealed in this video. Or probably not. I'm not.
Who knows?
I'm not after revealing it anyway, so you'll see that one there now in a little bit. But lads, the Blue Board is finished. It's away. This was the donor car that nobody really seen because I didn't take any pictures of it. And as you can see, that is not a bucket of rust. That is a barrel of rust. 2 doors, 2 wings. This here, lads, we have, and there's the boot lid off this car as well. We're actually going to use for the Blue Board. He just has to get the glass taken out, but the rust on the boot lid on the red one was just shit. You might have seen the video, but you probably haven't because it's not up yet. But we'll get to reasons why it's not been fixed and all that in later videos. Just keep in tune for that. Make sure you subscribe, lads, because shit's going to get very hot and heavy. Let's move on to the next one, actually, with the Mini, lads, right? See the Mini here, right? It is still up for raffle, just not yet, and it's just as well because what's after happening is the lady that owns this car, because the two of us are kind of doing a partnership deal where we're raising the money and we're also going to send the money off to charity. We're still doing it for the MPN voice, but what happened is she's actually after been dealt a bad blow with her health, and she's no car now actually at the moment. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing this back up to her, and she's then going to drive it around with stickers, hopefully. If anybody would like to donate their time and their energy to put a few stickers onto this car for us to raise up a few quid, we're looking to get about 3,500 for the car within the raffle, and if it takes us 200 tickets, if it's 300 tickets, we're not 100% sure on the draw yet on how it's been done and stuff. Things will come at a later date with that, and I'm sorry it's taken so long. I did want it gone for the summer, but unfortunately things just didn't go our way. But also because it didn't go our way, it's working out for herself, Kira, in the long run. So we're going to get this car back up the road now in the next few weeks, and you will hear more about it in the next little while, lads. So just keep in tune about that, and I'll publish more on that when I know more about it. So lads, you might have actually missed me on this one. We've got a little Austin 1100. Oh, absolute beauty, lads. Absolute rust bucket. Love it. The more rust, the better. Embrace the rust, lads. Just embrace it.
Misery.
Yeah, lads, we love some misery here. Jesus Christ. The more misery, the better. Other people's headaches are my Panadols. I love it. So we're actually doing this for a heart patient like myself. He's had a few strokes and a few health issues and he's unable to walk and all that. He is retired like myself. And I'm just actually helping out another fella to weld this up so he can continue the whole lot of the build on it. I'm only cutting this up and welding it all up. So that's what the plan is on this, and you'll see this possibly in and around October. Possibly I'm going to get time to get around to this. It just depends on how my health is and how I feel on things like so. Things can go well for me, things can not. We'll see how it goes. We will see more on this in a little bit. We'll see a little bit more on this in a little while. So let's move on to the next thing. Anybody know what it is yet? Yet no?
It's a Sierra.
Bingo was his name. Oh, yeah, come here to me, right? You know that song, Bingo? Bingo was his name. Oh, there was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, the farmer's name was Bingo, not the dog. There was a farmer who had a dog, and Bingo was his name. The farmer's name is Bingo. So, lads, have we any idea yet? It is raining.
I'm wet and there's an escort around. That seems weird.
It is wet. It is raining, and yes, it is a Mark II Escort, lads. This one is next after the project that is in the shed that I am just about to reveal to you now, lads. Let's go. So, lads, I do also have to mention that we have a brand new sponsor on board with JLD Auto Care, and we also have got Exo Racing on board as well. And if Exo Racing, if you're looking for anything with performance parts, cars, anything at all, go over to the Exo Racing website. I'll link it below. Use this discount code Mr. Stent 2 and you'll receive a discount and all on it, lads. Happy days, absolutely brilliant. And also, we've got 4CR on board as well, which give us a lot of our products for paint, our fillers, all of our bits and pieces that we kind of need. And we do get them up in parts for cars, up in Ballymount. I was going to say Blanche, but they're in Blanchardstown, they're in Ballymount, and they've also got another location as well. Check out partsforcars.ie, lads, and go up to the Ballymount shop and the Blanchardstown shop. Absolutely brilliant. They've got so much stuff in stock. Anything you need, lads, it's there. Let's get to it. So, as you can see, lads, that the Civic is fully epoxy primered underneath all the wheel welds and everything, but now I do have to weld in new brackets for the roll cage, which it's great that the car is sitting there like this because the roll cage just plops straight in and I've got so much space and access to things. So the tunnel, as you can see, is all fabricated up. It's all welded up, it's all painted. It just needs to get more paint on it, you might say. It's got to get more paint on it now because I got to put in flanges and all for the cage. This is for my handbrake cables. This is then where the handbrake cables will bolt on, and this is the fixing location for the handbrake itself. I've also got the hydro handbrake set up here. Over this side here, two little holes coming down for the feed in and feed out. That's the tunnel that I've custom made up from this point here all the way back. I've been asked the question of why is my tunnel bigger here than here. And this reason was because I wanted to keep the tunnel smaller to keep the centre console and all in place, because I wanted to have a full interior. So this is for where the viscous coupler sits underneath, and with that it pushes the viscous coupler's gone back as far as it can, which just about clears the center console, and I'm able to just run my two cables through there. You don't even see it because the center console actually sits right there. It's absolutely brilliant how it's done. Like, fair hats to gear on. Like, yeah. So the full interior is ready to be painted apart from the plates, as I'm saying. So I'm going to try and get them plates welded up for the cage very soon. I have got the engine bay is all dusty and dirty, full of overspray, but the bay was all tucked. The whole entire engine bay was flushed, all welded up and all that stuff. So I'm actually going to rub it down and re-lacquer it. But as you can see, all of the holes are, that one was there was one there, there was a few here, and lads, there was holes everywhere. So filled them all up, and I want to do a full wire tub, run the wires through chassis legs and all. So let's I'll show you some in another video, just the blue bits and pieces that I've got sprayed up and all that, ready to be fitted, because I've got the diff painted, the the wishbone subframe, everything is kind of painted underneath of it. I just need to paint the underneath of the car and I can assemble everything. I do need to get a set of coilovers and brakes, so if there's anybody out there that would like to support our channel and what the whole intentions of this build is and what the whole intention of the fly just flying around us there, be the Lord God. So if there's anybody out there that would like to sponsor the build in regards to coilovers or brakes, I'd absolutely greatly appreciate it, because it'd take the build on so far. I think it's about time that I told you about myself. And you might think, why are you sitting in the car? Well, this car has seen the highs and lows, the ups and downs and the ins and outs of everything that I've gone through in the last probably 8 years. Through going to Canada, being a cabinet maker, retiring, just everything, lads. It's seen so much. No joking, you lads. I sat right here one night, I had a rope tied around my neck and I tied it around the seat of the car. And that night, I don't know what stopped me, I got a call just at the right time and it stopped me. And it's not, I was only practicing, and I was going to go down and do it on the goalpost at the football field, and I just said nah. Got a call just at the right time and I just backed out of it. And since that day I'd be blessed, I'd say, because things have happened, good and bad. Everything's good for a reason if you look at it in the right perspective. So when I was away in Canada in 2016, I had a few heart issues. I felt like I was having a few heart issues going on. Went to the hospital and everybody said it was okay, like, and did a few stress tests and did a few tests here, there and everywhere, like, and blood tests, all that kind of stuff, like, and they just said that I was having panic attacks, and just kept on having them then since, like, 2016 onwards and so, and it's just really sore chest and stuff, like, you know, and ended up coming home then in late 2018, still having all these problems. And my granny passed and my friend passed, and I was just a very heavy heart I had, like, that for a while, like. And all of a sudden I was in hospital again, and I said that I was having awful bad problems with my heart. I was like, lads, there's really something wrong here. I'm not feeling great one bit. I think there's something up. And they were all doing the tests again, everything seemed fine. And there was just a little tiny thing on my ECG, a little tiny blip. Yeah, there was a little blip.
Potato technology here.
Yeah. So I ended up going down to the CCU, and I called up my partner Nicola at the time, and I said, "Babe, we're just on the way down to the CCU," and she was like, "Oh, do you know what that is?" I was like, "No, not an idea." Coronary care unit. And she was like, "That's like intensive care for your heart." And I was like, "Ah, okay, grand, yeah, whatever." So to cut a long story short, the diagnosis was that I had 3 heart attacks, ischemic heart disease, and I got 2 stents inserted into my LAD in my heart, that is. So people might ask the question of what does the lads group stand for on like you got the lads, like, and it's like the lads is like the left anterior descendants. That's what the name of the group is, like. It's not the lads, it's as in the left anterior descendants. So yeah, ended up having 2 stents in my heart, which is the name then, Mr. Stent 2. And about a year later or so it was, I just kept on going through many tests to find out why I had the heart attacks, and ended up having oh yes, I forgot to mention that I had a 90% blockage in my heart, and that's why I required the 2 stents. So there was a rigorous amount of tests done to understand what happened, and ended up being diagnosed with essential thrombocytopenia, which is a rare blood cancer, which causes too many platelets within your bloodstream, and your bone marrow creates this platelets. It creates your white cells and your red cells, and mine creates too many platelets, so it causes my arteries to clot and block, which is why I had the heart attacks. So after about 6 months of trial and error with tests and how things were with my chemotherapy, because I require chemotherapy every day now. It's only in a tablet form, but I'm lucky at that point, say, because I'm not as sick as I'd be with the drip, but it's still not ideal, you'd say. So we just keep on making sure that my bloods are right, and that I continue taking my tablets at the right times and all that kind of thing, like so. Which has given me the opportunity to be a better father, to be here for my son all the time. Like, so I'm blessed that this has happened to me, because with this happening, it has given me the life of the dad and always being there. And I know that I'm not there financially for my family as much as I'd like to be, because I had to retire from my job as a cabinet maker due to my heart health, and the tablets just have so many effects on my system and stuff, and having awful bad problems with my nerves and my fingers, and it's just crazy, lads. I can't hold things too great for a long time and stuff like, and that's just what it is. So with doing that, I'm able to be a better father, and it's also given me the opportunity to build this YouTube channel, which is what we're getting at now. So building this YouTube channel is not just for you guys, it's actually more so for Evan, because my intentions of this channel was that I had every single thing recorded for Evan, and I put it up on YouTube, and if anything happened, it happened. It was never a planned something to come of it. But Evan would always have had videos on YouTube to look back and see me doing what I wanted to do, and working on his car, because the Civic is his, like, once it's passed down, you know, that kind of way. So that's why I kind of started the YouTube channel, but then it materialized into more. So it being more, I've restored a few cars already, and they are my followers, my subscribers. I try and restore as many cars as I can for them, only starting off this journey. I've got the Blueboard finished, I've got the Hilux finished, I've got this next car that I'm going to show you in a second. It's very well on, and I'll take you off on a journey now and that on the next episode, lads. It's class. But I greatly appreciate everybody that has supported me from day one of all of my health issues, and everybody that has supported me in any way. I greatly appreciate it, and I know I might not text everybody back, lads, and get in touch with everybody, but I'm in my own head, I'm in my own zone. Like, I just do things to keep myself occupied and to try and keep my head right when I can, and it leads me to being in the shed. Like, I might be here. It's like everybody knows that when you're in a shed, like, just because you're here doesn't mean you're working. Like, it's a headspace for everybody. Like, you know, you get to work on something. If you're not even doing anything, you're in your own little space, and we all know what the comfort of a shed can do for us. So I encourage every single one of us to get out into the shed and just mess about. And that's the intentions of the channel as well, is to show everybody that they can do this stuff with the bare essential tools, because I'm doing this with the bare essentials, lads. Yes, I've a welder. Yes, I've the few bits and pieces, but they did not just come overnight. I started with the bare essentials, making tools up and stuff. I'll show you what I can in regards to getting you out there and getting you, helping you to get your head right, working in the shed, doing bits and pieces. Now, I'm not saying everything's going to be perfect. Take it with a pinch of salt, some things, lads. It is what it is. It's worked for me from day one with what I'm doing. So what I'm saying now is, lads, let's look at something that I started working on when I was 13, right? Not this car in particular. My background with panel beating and cabinet making started when I was 16, cabinet making. I was 10 years old when I walked out into the shed, cleaning it up for my dad, because my dad is a panel beater, or was a panel beater. He's a retired panel beater, and he had his own business, so we were always out in the shed with him, always, me and my brother Martin. And we would always come home from school, jump in the windows, and we'd be like, yeah, no, we gotta go out to the shed. Like, it was just crazy. It was like, we had to go out. Like, so we'd come home from school, out to the shed, maybe go to training for an hour, come home and primer a car or something. But, lads, we were building cars for the max power era, so we were around that age of 13, 14, out in the garage working on all these cars. And I'll link a few pictures of the cars that we've done. We've done so many, lads, and it leads me to be able to do what I have now in the shed, because if it wasn't for my father and my brother back in the day teaching me all these little bits and pieces. Now, my brother's only a year and a half older than me, and we kind of grew up at the exact same time doing the exact same things, like. So we were always in the shed working together, and it was absolutely brilliant. Like, I really and truly loved working with my brother, even though we had fights every day. It was great. Bet the shit out of me all the time. It was great, so it was, to be fair. But we always came out brothers at the end of the day, lads, and that's what it's all about. So what I'm going to show you is stuff that I was doing when I was 13. No shit about it, lads. Let's get into what we're doing right now.
No.
So, guys, do you want to see the next build? Let's go for it. It's a Skyline R34. Pick up me flag. This is a dream come true, lads. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody wants to own a Skyline R34. My dream was to work on one. And now, with my sickness, with my health issues, this is why I'm saying, lads, I love what I do. Because I'm able to help people like Jason, who has had this car for a couple of years now, but it has sat up in a yard waiting to be done for 8 months. So, got in touch with me and through the channel, says I'm really struggling to get the car sorted and I really need it done. So I was meant to do one of the cars down in the yard. I kind of want to in and out as quick as I can. So yeah, you'll have to check in on the videos to see the update on it, but as you can see, lads, check out the videos.